Let's talk about Apple. Let's talk about the iMac, and let's talk about a MacBook Pro. I have both. And I have a bit of a unique scenario with the devices I have and what I use them for and how I like to utilize both of them. And the specific version of the iMac I'm referring to, it's the very last Intel version. So I'll double check the date. I think it could be 2021 in which it was released, late 2021. And it's the last Intel model of the iMac, and it's the 27-inch version, which is the bigger of the two. So there's that. I also have the M1 MacBook Pro. So a laptop and a desktop, and really the difference between the two and how I like to utilize them. So I've had years with one of them because I got it at release, which was the iMac, and I've had the M1 and the M1 MacBook Pro. You could probably extend that to the M2 MacBook Pro and any future iteration of that laptop that's going to come out. How I like to utilize them and why it's unique is the idea of getting the Intel iMac was knowing that Apple was going to go over to their new generation of silicon, which is the M1, M2, and so forth and going on. But knowing that potentially the M1 laptops, desktops, would not support Windows. So kind of a weird thing, right? Getting a MacBook and wanting to have Windows on there. And that's essentially why I wanted that specific version. It was going to be the last of the iMacs. I had the previous iMac, which was a smaller version. It wasn't even previous. It was a lot older. Loved it. It was just the smaller screen size, but it was probably 5 years old, maybe longer when I got it, and had it for a couple of years. So we invested some money. We got the bigger Intel iMac, 27-inch, and utilized that knowing we could do boot camp. And boot camp, if you don't know, is where you can Apple allows you to load Windows onto its software and essentially have both on there. You have the OS software, the Mac OS, and you can put Windows on there too. Serving the purpose that if there's a program, if there's something you want to do that is only exclusive to Windows, you're fine. You can load it in, still have your Mac stuff. So if you have something that's specific to Mac, same thing. You can have that, you can have the Windows stuff, and they basically live together on the same computer, and you can pick which one you need to log into and go from there. And it's all legitimate. It's nothing like in the back end or anything along them lines. Apple allows you to put Windows onto their software, and that did stop with the M1 generation of their computers. The other thing with the iMac, obviously, it's a bigger screen. The resolution, I think, is 5.3K. You can expand the RAM, which also was important to me. At that point in time, I was looking to get into gaming, and obviously, why get an Apple for gaming? But when you can have Windows on there, you can have the best of both worlds. You can do Mac and Apple and basically utilize the same thing. So I expanded the RAM, very easy to do, the little port in the back. And it really is just a beautiful display. And for a desktop type computer, I love using it. And obviously, they now do have a newer generation of the M1 iMacs. They're slightly different design. They're very flat, very nice as well. But they haven't really expanded that line yet. I really love what I have, the old Intel Mac and iMac. Curious to see where they go with the iMac range, but love mine. Love the fact I can put Boot Camp on there, use Windows, and actually I utilize it more than I probably should. So I'm on the Windows side of it probably 80% of the time. The MacBook Pro, I have the M1 Max to be specific, and I've loved having that computer. Now, when I got it, I didn't expect I was going to be editing videos on there. I heard in the keynote and I heard in the different literature and whatnot that it has a media encoder. I'm like, cool. If I ever want to edit a video, it has the capability. Little did I know we'd be launching our YouTube channel, Braxton Family. Little did I know we'd be doing videos like this where you need a capable computer to process what you're creating in terms of a video, and then to be able to put it together and export the video efficiently. For everything I've needed that computer for, it's fantastic. The integration between, say, your laptop and your phone, the MacBook and the iMac, it all still is there. Even though I've got an Intel iMac and a Apple M1 chip in my MacBook Pro, the functionalities that they put in the software are still there. I can still, there's a feature where you can basically go, you have everything open, so say an iPad, a MacBook Pro, and an iMac, and you go to the side of the screen and kind of nudge it a little bit, and your mouse goes onto the other device, and you have one keyboard, one mouse, and you can go between all three devices. And you can even take a file and put it onto the other screen, and take a file and put it onto the other screen, and have this workflow of screens around you doing different things. And just Apple is fantastic, right, with that type of stuff, with the way they integrate it. And what's that? I've got a non-M chip iPad Pro, a M1 Max MacBook Pro, and an Intel iMac. Three totally different devices right there, but all integrating together in a seamless and very cool way. That's how I've been utilizing these different devices. Now, primarily my workhorse for video editing and a little bit of gaming is my MacBook Pro. And the portability, it's actually, right, it's a chunky, heavy device. The stainless steel in this thing, it is so rugged. Now, I wouldn't go around hitting it off walls or hitting it off anything. Not designed for that, but it is hefty. When I first got the box and it came in and I lifted it up, I'm like, wow, this has some weight to it, and it really does. But it's robust. It has all the ports I need. The battery life lasts as long as I ever need it. Very rarely do I run out of juice. And the MagSafe connector and the quick charging you get, you plug it in for not too long of a time, and you've got enough juice to do whatever you need. And the fact, M1, you can get the performance and the power out of the computer whether it's plugged in or not. That is beautiful. Of course, the iMac, you don't have to worry about that. It's always plugged in because it's desktop. So where this video breaks down is I have both these devices. If I was going to pick one, it would probably have to be the M1 MacBook Pro, just because of the video editing that we're doing now and the different stuff we're putting together. Really haven't even tried to put DaVinci Resolve on the iMac. I think it's on there. I just didn't try to edit anything. And I'm sure it would handle it perfect. It's got a lot of RAM. It's got the highest chip that I had at that point, the highest Intel chip that was available. But I just really haven't tried editing on that. Might try it and give that a whirl and see how that works. But if I had to pick between the two, I think the MacBook Pro would win it. Though I've loved, enjoyed, continue to love and enjoy using my iMac on almost a daily basis. It doesn't just sit in the corner collecting dust. It serves a purpose in our life, and we use it for a lot of different things. These are two very potentially different devices, can be used for a very similar manner and means. The Intel Mac is what lives in our life, and I've loved, enjoyed it since we've had it, and it's been a couple of years now. And the same goes for my MacBook Pro. There's my thoughts between the two. Hope that might have informed you in some way, shape, or form of which one might work best for you, or if you're thinking about adding one or the other to your ecosystem of Apple products and how they can integrate with each other. Hope that helped, and have a great day.